Joshua Harmon Sr. here, principal broker and owner of Harmon Real Estate Company. And this is a podcast that you guys have seen some glimpses of in the past, the iconic Multifamily podcast. And this is a segment we're going to throw into that platform called State of the Multifamily Market. And we're going to be talking about the Fort Smith market. Primarily, we're not going to really talk about other markets because we're not present there. But Glennis Rogers with GE Media, he's shooting content. He's going to help us build this platform. So please give us feedback. Follow us on our platforms that we will tag in this video, and we'll get started. So state of the multifamily market in the Fort Smith area. We've seen some massive sales happen. We saw the Reserve at Chaffee Crossing sale for $71 million. A lot of people weren't aware what that sale what happened there, but it was an off-market deal. Got put together pretty quickly by SVN, Oak Realty Advisors. And they did an amazing job, it looks like. The owner made a lot of money. It looks like a buyer got an amazing asset as well. See what else we had sell recently. We had Maple Oaks, which is right by the Fort Smith Regional Airport. Sell for over $3 million, $153,000 per unit. And if you guys are into the multifamily market here locally, that's a substantial premium to what anything else has sold for here recently, or pretty much ever. I don't know too many properties selling for $153,000 per unit. That's an amazing premium for that property. Harmon Real Estate Company, we've sold a lot of properties as well. We sold over 450 multifamily units in 2021, and already in 2022, we've eclipsed half of that total under contract right now. So a lot of things happened in the market. If you want to talk nationally, there was a CoStar article that came out recently talking about interest rates going up in March. That hasn't actually been announced. The verbiage they use is that, interest rates could go up in the next meeting, which will be in March with the Federal Reserve. So with interest rates going up, we're going to see sales probably slow down a tad. There's still a lot of capital in the market. And the Fort Smith market, what's unique here is our properties on a price per unit basis are substantially lower than, comparable to a Little Rock or Oklahoma City or a Tulsa. So we're seeing a lot of out-of-state investors come in, Dallas, Oklahoma, Florida, even California, and buying up some of the properties that a lot of the local owners can't make sense of. So we're seeing a lot of that. So to be a local owner, to be in our market and, want to do well, you have to compete with some other factors, some other buyers who you didn't have to compete with in the past. So that's going to take, a lot of upfront earnest money. Some of that money is not going to be refundable, and, you're going to have to perform. So once you get that property under contract, you're not going to have the wiggle room that you had in 2021 or 2020 and beyond. 2022 and, going forward, you're going to have to put down earnest money, and you're going to have to perform. You got to close on deals and do what you say you're going to do. Or else you're going to have out-of-state investors who are willing to, pick up that slack and close really quickly. So that's something that I'm seeing quite a bit with the larger deals. And now we're going to go down to some of the smaller properties, some of the duplexes, some of the fourplexes. We're seeing a few duplexes in Chaffee Crossing sell for, anywhere between $114 and $122 a square foot. Even though that's pretty expensive, you're seeing a duplex sell for $315,000. That's a pretty expensive price. That's comparable to maybe a Northwest Arkansas. And we typically don't see that here, but what you're running into is duplexes today. It costs you at least $100 a square foot to build, and to build some of the properties that you would be proud to own. They give your tenants space, 3-bedroom units, maybe some granite countertops and different features like that. If you can get a property for $115, $120 a square foot, a duplex or a fourplex, and it's a newer property and it has some space, and you can get upwards of $1,000, $1,200 in rent. I'm seeing a lot of investors buying some of those properties because it's hard to find land, and it's also, you're competing with projects. So if you can get a property that's already built, already rented, in the $115 to $120 a square foot range, like we're seeing in Spring Hill Road in Barling, that's not a bad deal. Something that I am seeing that's very unique in today's market in Fort Smith is fourplexes. I'm seeing a lot of fourplexes trade for, $200,000 all the way up to, $350,000. Whereas in the past, my fourplexes would tend to sell a little bit cheaper on a price per unit basis than some of the duplexes. So I'm seeing that the fourplexes are getting premium pricing. There was a unique fourplex deal that I can compare and kind of give you some context. 2614 South 57th Street, which is right off of Rogers Avenue on the south side of town near Hardscrabble. Four fourplexes that we sold, and we sold them for $205,000 per fourplex. Now, you're not seeing that very often, and that's something that I didn't see in the past. Some of these fourplexes used to sell for, $100,000, maybe $150,000, maybe $170,000, but you're seeing anywhere between $200,000, and I think the most expensive fourplex I've sold recently is $350,000. So you're going to start to see a lot of fourplexes, and the guys and the investors who own fourplexes, you're going to see a lot of opportunity coming up soon. Definitely test the market, get a property valuation, clean up your books, clean up your rent roll. You don't want to have a bunch of people delinquent. But as a seller, if you have fourplexes right now, there's a huge opportunity to capitalize. Maybe sell that older fourplex, buy a newer duplex or a newer fourplex with less repairs and maintenance, and you could do really well. So I think this is a really good segment that we're doing, the state of the market. And I want you guys to give us feedback on things that you want to hear about, that you want me to talk about. This is our first time doing it. So, we just want to give you an overview of what this is going to look like, give you some context once a month on what's going on in the Fort Smith multifamily market specifically. So stay tuned with us. Follow our pages, Harmon Real Estate Company, and also HREC Commercial on Instagram and Facebook. And just stay tuned with us. Really appreciate GE Media, and we'll see you guys next month.